Good evening, Pennell families, and welcome to our annual spring band concert. I can tell you from firsthand experience that there's nothing more tempting to a 9-year-old than a principal speaking in front of a large audience while holding drumsticks. Pennell's big band is composed of our 4th grade and 5th grade students who are in their first year of instrumental lessons with Mr. Orlando. It is a predominantly 4th grade group. And the most remarkable part about our B-Band concert is not just the tremendous sound that they're producing on this stage, but the growth that's really happened behind the curtain since September. Learning an instrument is not easy. It takes hours and hours of hard work, dedication, and practice. At today's afternoon dress rehearsal, I leaned over to Mrs. O'Kane, who many of you know as our chorus teacher here at Pennell, and I asked her, how do you think this B-Band sounds compared to past years? And she told me confidently that this is the best they had ever sounded, which I completely agree with. Yeah. Mr. Orlando has recruited, by the size of this crowd here, almost 85% of our 4th graders. That number is truly remarkable, and it's a testament to his leadership and his personality, because everyone loves band with Mr. Orlando. As you may or may not know, this was Mr. Orlando's first year teaching band at Pennell, and it was clearly a resounding success. On behalf of our entire Pennell staff, a quick moment to thank Dr. Steinhoff and Mr. Kaminka for their continued leadership for the arts of Pendelco, not just while your students are in elementary school, but into Northley and Sub Valley. And a huge thank you to all of you for supporting your students here this evening, and also every night of the week when your students are practicing at home. Without further ado, I present to you Mr. Orlando and the Pennell B-Band.
Thank you, everyone. I want to stress that if you saw the winter concert, and if you could think back and remember what this group sounded like, and kind of compare it today, you will definitely agree with Mr. Light that it is a world of difference. We went from playing these tiny little, 8-measure, couple-second long songs at the winter concert, to now they're playing full-length band music that's 1.5, 2 minutes long, multiple parts happening at the same time. So it really is a testament of just how good this group is as a beginning band. I like to tell them that I don't consider them to be a beginning band. If I talk to colleagues, they're like, well, how's your beginners? I'm like, well, they're not beginners, they're my band, and they're very good. They're like, well, okay, sure. But no, it's very true. You're gonna see it from every single song. So our first song, I'm gonna have a few students come up to introduce it to you. Is Mackenzie Jones, JT, Bryn, Ray. While they're coming up, I want to take tonight to highlight a lot of the students who have made so much progress this year. So if you are a B-Band student and have earned a white belt in band karate, please stand up or give us a stick wave. Let's give a round of applause. Thank you, you can see. So band karate is a little system we use to track progress. White belt's the very first one, and we track our way all the way up to a black belt. And throughout tonight, you're going to see just how far all of these students have gotten and will be going. Mackenzie.
Our first song tonight is Banjo Boogie. Even though it's called Banjo Boogie, don't get it confused with the stuff that's up your nose. Banjo Boogie is a bluesy jazz song that is going to make you want to get up and dance.
The song was written by the composer Michael Sweeney to introduce beginning band students to playing songs with different parts happening at the same time.
This song will feature different instrument groups taking turns playing a solo, just like a jazz band. The order of the flutes is the order of the instruments is flutes, clarinets, trumpets, saxophones, low brass, and percussion.
Feel free to clap, snap, or even dance to the jazzy sounds of Pennell B-Band playing Banjo Boogie.
Our next group of students coming up will be Nick Nolek, Grant Taylor, Madison Chadwick, Addison Garrity. While they're coming up, to honor even more students, if you were in B band and you earned your second belt, which is a yellow belt, please stand up or give us a stick wave. Please and thank you. Let's give a round of applause. Thank you. Everyone have a seat. So that's going to be a theme as well. I think you're going to see tonight is pretty much every belt we get to, we're just going to have almost everyone standing up. Nick Noah, take it away.
Shark Attack was the first song we learned for the spring concert. The composer who wrote the song was Les Taylor. Shark Attack taught us new rhythms, notes, and how to create special effect sounds with our instruments.
Shark Attack is a song about a shark swimming in the ocean, waiting for its chance to make a surprise attack on something that isn't paying attention.
The song starts out very slow and quiet because the shark is very far away. Then the music starts to get a little faster and louder as the shark approaches. Then out of nowhere it attacks. The attack missed, then it becomes to race back to see if we can get away from the shark. Please sit back and listen to B-Bear make an escape from this hungry shark.
Thank you, everyone. Our next group of students introducing the song, Maggie Mucklow, Lila, Matt, and Luke Matthews. While they're coming up, once again, I'd love to honor some more students. If you earned an orange belt in band karate this year, please stand up and give us a stick wave. Orange belt in band karate. You may have a seat. Now, a lot of our students are still on their orange belt because as a B band first year student, you will end your first year of band kind of wrapping up with that red belt. That red belt is that key that lets you just get into A band. So they will all be achieving the red belt by the end of this year, 100%. And here's our next group of students.
Popcorn Prelude was written by the composer Mike Hannickel and lets the B-band students really show off their band skills.
This is another song that features different instrument groups taking turns playing a solo, but this time it's a little different.
Every time it's an instrument's turns to play. They also have to stand up when they do it. The order of the groups is flutes, trumpets, clarinets, low brass, saxophones, and then percussion.
Feel free to try and take a picture when your band member stands up and plays, but be quick because it gets really fast by the end.
So this is actually kind of a fun game. I do encourage you taking pictures throughout the night. This one's going to be fun because I'll go through it again. Throughout the song, each instrument section is going to stand up and play their little part of the melody. So here's the order one more time. Flutes, trumpets, clarinets, low brass, which would be our baritone trombone players, saxophones, and then percussion. So if you have a student who plays one of those instruments, it's going to be kind of fun for you to try to take a picture of them while they're standing. It's not going to last very long, and by the end, it's going to be so quick, it gets kind of hilarious. So, anyway, Popcorn Prelude. Thank you, everyone. We're going to do one more song, but we have a few more students that would like to take a couple seconds just to recognize. So like I said, Red Bell is where we are at the end of the year. We do have some students who put in a ton of extra work, kind of gave up some recess time on their own, practiced a bunch at home, and have gotten a red belt. And, depending on when they got it, have moved up to A-Band and will also be playing in the A-Band concert tonight. If you received a red belt in band karate, please stand up or give us a stick wave. Thank you very much. And then we have two students I would like to spend just a little bit of time on because of how much work they have put in this year. If you're a B-Band student, now we're moving on to A-Band 5th grade belts, but if you're a B-Band student and you have gotten a green belt in band karate, please stand up and be honored. Thank you. Let's keep moving, because believe it or not, we have some students moving past that. If you have earned a blue belt in band karate, please stand up and be recognized. Thank you. And even past that, we're now entering we have 3 belts left in our system. So if you've earned a blue belt in band karate, did I just do blue? Sorry. If you get a purple belt in band karate, please stand up and be recognized. Thank you. If you are a B-Band student, first year, and you have earned a brown belt, the second to last belt in band karate, please stand up and be recognized. And then finally, our black belt. We have one B-Band student who earned a black belt this year. I think if you're looking, you can figure out who that might have been. So if Bryn Price can please stand up, because she was a B-Band student who earned her black belt in band karate. One final student before we start our last song here. I'd like to honor a trumpet player. Before he stands up, he's an A-Band, but he's also came back to B-Band because he's earned a black belt in A-Band on baritone. He has gone past a black belt to something we call fun belts, where I kind of give them middle school level music. They just keep learning, they keep plugging away. So he's got black belt, he has fun belts. He was a representative of Pennell Elementary at BandFest. That's schools all over Delaware County coming together for a day to put on a concert. And he also has up to a green belt on trumpet. He came back to B-Band, started a second instrument, and has gone his way all the way up to a green belt on a second instrument. And his name is Jacob Pennell. Please stand up. All right, let me bring up our last group of students for our last song. Bella Quincy, Grant, and Adam.
Our last song for tonight's concert is Midnight Mission and was written by the composer Brian Balmages. The song starts off soft and quiet like we're sneaking around like a spy. This song taught us how to play piano, which means soft and staccato, which means to play the notes very short.
In the middle of the song, it gets very loud and dramatic, like we're about to get caught and fail our mission. This section of the song taught us how to play forte, which means loud, and it taught us how to accent notes, which means to make them pop out of the music.
Thankfully, the song becomes piano and staccato again because we escaped the trouble we got in and completed our mission. Now sit back and join the B-Band on their midnight mission. Hi, Mom.
A few things, just once more for me, a few thank yous. One, I would like to thank all of you. You get these students here in the morning for morning band. You make sure they have instruments. You make sure they have their music shirts, every little thing they need to be successful. So I'm going to ask our band members to give their families a round of applause. And another thank you to Mr. Light. Without his support, this would be very, very difficult. So let's everyone give a round of applause for Mr. Light. Thank you, Mr. Light. And countless thank yous to other teachers, Dr. Steinhoff, administration, Alton for setting up all these chairs in such a fantastic manner. Thank you, Alton. This is perfect. We're going to wrap up tonight with one of our favorite songs, Midnight Mission. Thank you once again, everyone, for coming out tonight. I hope you enjoyed this concert just as much as I have. Teaching them and working on this music with them, it has been a pleasure and an honor to be in front of these students teaching them. The way we're going to dismiss is the kids are going to go back into the band room, pack up, and they will come back to you here in the gym. Thank you for coming out tonight. Thank you again.
and welcome to our annual Spring Band Concert. Tonight you will hear from our proud A-Band. Pennell's A-Band is composed of our 4th and 5th grade students that are predominantly in their 2nd year of instrumental study at Pennell under the guidance of Mr. Orlando. All of these students on the stage before you this evening have met their minimum requirement for entry into A-Band, the illustrious red belt. Many students in our A-Band have earned their black belt as well, with several more students just a few notes away that hope to earn it before the end of our school year and their transition to Northley. I asked Mr. Orlando if I could play along with the A-Band tonight because of my red tie. However, he said a red tie is not the same as a red belt, therefore you need to watch from the audience. In all seriousness though, we really do take our entry into A-Band very seriously. The students on stage before you have put in well over 100 total hours of practice time this year in school and many more outside of school. And they've really grown so much this year. Music is so important to the culture of this building. Pennell has over 75% of its 4th and 5th graders combined in the band. That's a testament to the leadership of Mr. Orlando. You may or may not realize that this is Mr. Orlando's first year in his role as instrumental music teacher at Pennell. And I can tell you from firsthand experience that our elementary bands have never sounded better. So thank you very much, Mr. Orlando. You've done a great job. Before we get started, just a quick moment to thank the leadership in our central office, in our superintendent, Dr. Steinhoff, and our assistant superintendent, Mr. Kaminka. You are going to be thrilled with your children's long-term involvement in the arts as they transition to Northley in just 22 school days for our 5th graders, and then on to Sun Valley down the road. We hope you enjoy the show tonight. Here is our A-Band with Mr. Orlando. Good luck.
I also would like to thank everyone for coming out tonight and being so supportive of your students being in band. It's huge. You get them here for morning practice, you encourage them, and it really shows. They've made so much improvement this year, and especially from the winter concert. I'm super excited. So the first group of students I'm going to have come up here to introduce tonight's concert to you is going to be Ashley, Alana, Ava, and Jacob Garrity. Come on.
Francis Scott Key wrote the Star-Spangled Banner. He was held prisoner aboard the British Royal Navy ship during the War of 1812, and he watched his countrymen defend Fort McHenry against the Great Canyon Fire.
The night was rainy, and so Key observed the Americans fire the smaller storm flag for foul weather. After the bombing stopped, Key could only guess how bad the damage was because it was dark.
When the sun rose in the morning, not only did he see that Fort had not surrendered, but it was flying a larger flag in defiance. Inspired, he wrote the poem, The Defense of Fort McHenry. Today, the A-Band plays the Star-Spangled Banner as our national anthem. If you can, please rise, remove your hats, and remain standing until the end of our play of our national anthem.
Throughout the night, I would like to honor students as we go for all their hard work today, this year in band. First, Mr. Light brought up that ticket into A-Band is that red belt. So I would like to start off by honoring all students in A-Band who have earned a red belt. Please stand up or give us a stick play. Thank you, A-Band. Have a seat. The next group of students come up to introduce another song to you are Riley, Reka, Sky, and Kerrigan.
Our next song is called Heroes in Glory and was written by the composer James Sorojan. This is a very heroic sounding song and it is meant to be played to honor the heroes in our lives.
The definition of hero is a person who is admired or idolized for courage, outstanding achievements, or noble qualities.
Throughout the world, people in all walks of life perform acts of kindness that often go unnoticed. These courageous citizens rarely receive the recognition that they truly deserve.
The song is dedicated to everyone in the audience tonight because you're here to celebrate.
Thank you to honor another group of students. If you are in A-Band and you have earned yourself a green belt in band karate, please stand up and give us a stick play, please. Thank you. Thank you, you may have a seat. I'd like to call up Ryan, Jacob Summers, and Kristen up to the stand to introduce our next song to you.
Centurion was written by the composer Mark Williams and is one of two songs the A-Band is playing by that composer.
A centurion is a type of soldier in the army of ancient Rome. So during this song, you will hear a special percussion instrument called a marching machine. being played to the sound like the feet of soldiers on their way to battle.
This song continues our theme of heroes and glory as the A band marches their way to battle. Please enjoy the song and help us win by listening to Centurion.
One of the students brought up this instrument, a marching machine. Our percussionist in the back, Riley Rosello, is going to be playing this instrument for us tonight. It's not quite like other instruments where it doesn't really play a melody, and it kind of plays a rhythm like a drum, but so a marching machine is more of like a sound effect that gives the sound of feet marching. So Riley, do you mind just playing a few beats for us? So you're going to be hearing that throughout this song because Riley's going to be the marching of the army. So just wanted to highlight that instrument. Good job, Riley. The next group of students I'm bringing up here to introduce our next song is Zarian, Thomas, Adriana Quincy. Emily Dill. So I call her by your nickname, which is like Pickles Senior. So I'm sorry. Emily Dill. And Maddie Evans.
Our song is called Dragonfly and was written by the composer Brian Baumages. Dragonfly features a brass section, but not in the way you would normally expect.
To make a sound on a brass instrument, you need the buzz in the mouthpiece. So this song features our brass brass players buzzing in their mouthpieces to sound like dragonflies.
The brass won't just be making sounds with their mouthpieces. It's still possible for them to play music and notes on their mouthpieces, even though it's not their instrument.
Dragonfly is a call and response song. The woodwinds will play something and the brass will respond back by buzzing that same melody on their mouthpieces.
Please remember that the buzzing sound will be hearing is our brass players, so there is no need to get out the fly swatter and hit something. Please enjoy the A-band playing Dragonfly.
I would like to honor some more students. The last belt we just did was green. We did blue. Oh, blue's next. Thanks, Lainey. The next belt I would like to honor for students is if you received a blue belt in Bank Ride, please stand up or give us a stick wave. Thank you, you may have a seat. If we can, brass players, just so we can let the audience kind of hear what's going to happen. I want you to start at just the buzzing section. If you want, you can stand up too. And I want you to buzz the melody at 13 on your mouthpiece. Just the brass players. Everyone else, we could be in rest position. We have one more song tonight. Before we get to that song, I would like to spend a little bit more time honoring students that have worked so hard this year. If you have earned a purple belt in band karate, please stand up and give us a stick wave. Thank you, may I have a seat? And yes, since these are A-band members, plenty of them have even gotten far past a purple belt. So if you received a brown belt in band karate, please stand on up and give us a stick wave. And moving on to our next belt, thank you. What's in the top of the chain, this is our black belt. If you have received a black belt in band karate, please stand and give us a stick wave. Thank you. And then even past the black belt, because some of these students who received their black belt, they got it so early on in their band career, I had to give them more music. So we moved on to these things called fun belts. And that's where I pull a lot of middle school music together for them and just kind of give them this next level of challenge. So if you have received any amount of fun belts, please stand up and be recognized. Thank you, thank you. I'd like to highlight a few more students. We had 3 students from Pennell go to an honors festival called BandFest. And BandFest is 5th and 6th grade students from all over Delaware County. They were given difficult music. A lot of it was meant for 7th and 8th grade students, and they practice it on their own, and eventually they spent a whole day with students all over from Delaware County, and they put together a concert. So those 3 students that represented Pennell and did an awesome job are Kerrigan Patterson, please stand, Alana Richardson, and Jacob Hill. Thank you, have a seat. Our next group of students to come up and introduce our final song to you will be Katie Filler, Jack Kelly, Arabelle Pearson, and Michael Walsh.
Our final song is called Cardiff Castle and was written by the composer Mark Williams. This is the second song we're playing by Mark Williams. Since this song was written by the same composer, you will notice that it sounds similar to the other piece, Centurion. The composer shows off his creativity by using similar notes and rhythms, but he is able to write 2 different songs. Every hero deserves to live in a castle, and this song is about a hero defending their castle. This song is the fastest song of our concert, and it's definitely one of the most exciting.
Thank you for attending tonight's concert, and helping us defend our castle. Please enjoy our final piece, Cardiff Castle.
And to say a few final words, I do want to thank one more person on the stage in particular, because she has given up most of her evening, and that would be Avery West. So Avery, you can just give us a little wave in the back. Avery is a senior at Pencrest High School. She's going to be majoring in music, so I thought it'd be very nice. And Mrs. West, I don't know where you are in the audience. Oh, Mrs. West. So that's her daughter. So I asked Mrs. West if her daughter would come and play the concert with us. So one, our students can hear a higher level of musicianship. Also an instrument they don't really get to hear too often, which would be a tuba. And also it's great for Avery because this is a preview of something she could be doing in like the next stages of her musical career. So thanks you again for coming out and playing. One final thing, I promise before we play this piece, we're gonna get there. I would like to point out that, yes, this is my first year, but it's been one of the best years of teaching I've ever had. These students are great to work with. I really do think in Pendelco and Pennell, we have some of the best band students in the whole county. I said this earlier and I'll say it again, I don't care if you go to Chichester, if you go to Wallingford, Swarthmore, Ridley, whatever school district you may be in, I promise you the band programs in Pendelco are 10 times that. So it's an honor to be able to teach these students. So thank you.